All right. Hello, everybody. It's been a little while since I've done one of these, so I figured I would just go ahead and jump in for a few minutes and see if anybody shows up. I know a lot of times when I set these up, they tend to be sort of last minute, but I figure I'll just go ahead and go for it, and we'll just see what happens. So today is the 16th of January, 2024. So yeah, Happy New Year. If I haven't said that to anybody, I think I've done one or two videos since then. But I figure if you haven't heard that from me, I might as well say it now. So hello and Happy New Year, 2024. A lot of people have been talking about this is Carnivore Month, so this is a good chance for you to go out and tell people about carnivore and um, how it's going for you. Is it doing well? Is it not doing well? Are you just starting out? Have you been doing it for several years? I think people's stories are always going to be good because then that way that allows for people to know how you're doing and how it's going. So for me, this today is actually day 250. So I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool. So I figured I would at least go ahead and do this. Um, so things have been going okay. I've had a little bit of stress, but I think a lot of people do. And one of the things that I'm working on is having a release or a way to deal with that stress. So I'm just making sure that I'm up and moving around and as mobile as I can. It is cold outside here in the Carolinas, so I think in the mornings I think this morning was like in the 20s or something like that. So it gets a little cold. Maybe a little much, probably in the 30s. I don't think it gets that low. But yeah, I'm trying to move around as much as I can. Definitely, with being on the AV team at the church that I'm at, I'm running around the building all day, during service. So I get a lot of exercise, and I told actually a couple people the other day that it's definitely carnivore has definitely allowed me to be able to get up and move around and to be able to do things um especially in a church or an environment where I'm at because 251 days ago I certainly wouldn't have been able to move around and go up and down the stairs there that I would have done before because most of the time I would just climb up the stairs and then that would be it. If I had to go back down, then I would go back down and then I would just stay. But now I'm up and down, um, 3, 4, 5 times in a service. So I'm definitely getting my money's worth with with carnivore. That's for sure. So yeah, so with day 250, so it's been rough for me only from the standpoint of if you've been following me at all, I've let soda back into my life, and I am still battling to get rid of that. Um, at this point, when I look at it, I'm pretty sure I'm winning, but it's difficult. It's hard um, to have to deal with that, um, and the consequences of it. It's one of those unfortunate things for me, especially that when I have that, when I drink that, then the inflammation comes, and then the water weight gain, and so it's for me it's a letdown. But um, I'm I'm not focusing on that. It is what it is, and it's always going to be a part of my life. But it's definitely something that I am working on trying to battle. And I'm actually very happy the fact that that is the only thing that is causing me to have problems. Um, years ago, I would have gone to, pizza or ice cream or, something. And I would have had um, a really hard time with it. But luckily for me, um, I've been able to continue doing the carnivore. And for me, it's really been helping. So I've been really feeling good about just the overall and the work that I've done. So, view of my channel. Let's see. I just so Elaine, hello. Sorry, I'm trying to read this here. Oh, here we go. I just checked and I was not subscribed. But, have a few channels. Oh, okay. Well, hello, and if you do subscribe, then welcome aboard. Um, yeah, I was just talking about how the last 250 days have been going for me, especially the last few. Um, but it's I don't know, it's difficult to deal with when you've got something that things have been going really well, and then something gets in the way, and then you just end up, I don't know, getting upset, mad, whatever. But I've always just been one of those kinds of guys that's very emotional. And but thank you very much. Thank you. I honestly have been feeling really great. I was just mentioning that at the church that I go to, I'm running around that campus all day, and every service, and I certainly wouldn't have been able to do that before. Good evening. How are you? And so yeah, I'm really, honestly, I am happy with um, with where things are at. I weighed myself the other day. It was at 379, so it did go up just a little bit from the lowest that I've gotten to, which was at 372. But that's okay. I have to work on keeping my chin up, and being being happy with me, and being happy with the results of the things that have um, done thus far, and the distance that I've come, because a lot of times there would have been many times that I would have quit already, and I'm not going to do that, because again, carnivore is just one of the easiest things for me to do. It really, honestly is. And so yeah, the blood sugar numbers are still really good. They have been at I usually tend to take them, I don't know, about half hour or so, maybe an hour after I get up. So it's usually been at about, I don't know, 110. I think the other day was like at 120, but it's definitely a lot better than it was before. Um, and if you saw the video that I did a few months ago, back in September, I think it was September, after I had gone to the doctor, I'm still standing on the fact that for me, diabetes is gone. I still go and look at the numbers, just because I want to make sure that nothing is spiking or going up. But everything has been really good. I'm again really enjoying um, carnivore. I'm enjoying doing what I'm doing, and I have pretty much just switched to lion completely. I've stopped doing eggs. I do still have pork, so it's kind of a dirty lion, I guess. Just because I can't afford like bison or lamb or anything like that, so I just gotta kind of go with what's available to me. But I've stopped doing eggs. I've stopped doing cheese, milk. I did have a little bit of cheese during the holidays, just because those were foods that were readily available, during the Christmas time, during Christmas, but that's okay. Like I said before, it's one day at a time and it's one meal at a time. So it was just kind of one of those, okay, let's prepare. You're going to eat this stuff and it's going to taste good, but you may end up, your weight may not like it, but that's okay. Um, but folks, I want to, I wanted to continue just to say that, with carnivore, um, I know that for me, I tend to focus on the weight loss, and that, and I've said this many, many times, that weight loss is only a part of the benefits of carnivore. So I just want you folks to remember that there are a lot of things, there are a lot of benefits to carnivore. Um, and I do try to talk about other, the other ones, but for me, um, I really have taken, a good hard look, at my life, and a lot of the ailments and problems that, that a lot of other people have, I just do not. One thing that I am trying to avoid, is having another kidney stone issue. I've had one in my life last year, and I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I mean, it was the for 3 days. It was just intense, intense pain. I am just happy that that when it happened, I wasn't working, so I didn't have to try to drive or go to work or even try to function other than I would lay down for a few minutes. That didn't work, so I get up and walk around. That kind of helped, but then that didn't work. So it was just really, really bad. Um, and that's definitely one thing that doing this I really want to try to avoid. Um, and I mean, my digestive, I never really had any digestive issues, except obviously when you're eating the standard American diet, your excrement that comes out basically is just is it can be horrible sometimes, and it's definitely something that I don't miss. um and so like if that is something that that you deal with, certainly keep in mind that um carnivore will make changes to to your life. It will make changes to your digestive um movements. And we'll try to make sure we keep that as nice as possible. But yeah, it's definitely something to look into. And I actually, it was great. I just happened to just before I decided to do the live stream tonight, I was able to get a hold of a friend of mine from several years ago, and we got to talk for about an hour and 15 minutes, and come to find out, he's actually doing carnivore too. So I thought that was amazing. We got to talk about the different things we eat and how things are going, and it's definitely something that is good for people to know, to learn, to hear about. I'm actually getting to the point now where I am trying to talk to as many people as I can about it. And I try to find ways to fit it into the conversation. And a lot of times, honestly, that there are some very good openings. I mean, just with the things that are going on in people's lives. Um, I was talking to a gentleman actually Sunday night. I happened to walk into a conversation that was going on next to me, and somebody was talking about he. It sounds like he had some sort of back or nerve damage or something that had happened to him, and he was um, he was losing, feeling in his extremities. And I happened to walk in just at that point. I hadn't heard the part about the nerve damage. So I had asked if it was neuropathy, because of diabetes. It wasn't, but I went ahead and just plowed on and talked about carnivore anyway. And I mean, because I mean, let's be honest, it doesn't matter what age that you're at when you go to start this. Um, the benefits at the end and even during are going to be so much better for you, um, than where things are at. There was another gentleman that was there in the same conversation. He has type 2 diabetes, and he's having to take insulin and a lot of different things. And I've actually talked to him a little bit about carnivore before, but I got a chance to talk a little more about it to him. And it's one of those things that I try to make sure that I tell people that, look, this is not a miracle cure. Okay, the anecdotal stories that I tell, and the things that I've heard, from other people that I've interviewed, um, things that are great that have happened to them, and may work for you, for the person that I'm talking to, but it may not. But the one thing that I always try to make sure that I tell people is, look, what's it going to hurt? Really, what is it going to hurt to do it for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days? I mean, it's just what, 2, 3 months out of your life that you change. You limit and get rid of some of the other stuff. And the one thing that I like to talk about is if you eliminate all that stuff and then start bringing it back, even if you don't think there are any real um, changes or anything that's good that's happening to you, when you start bringing that stuff back, then it'll be interesting to hear and to talk to you about how your life is going as you start bringing all the bad stuff back. So you know it's it's a fun challenge to tell people about. It really is. So so one of the things that I wanted to talk about tonight is just um the amount of um videos that I'm putting out. So lately, because when I started I was doing 2 a week, and I did that for a long time. And so lately it's just sort of been one every week, maybe one every 10 days. Um, so what I'm going to try to do is, at least I'm going to do, one big video a month, talking about, because this is what, like I said, today is day 250. So I think I'm a little over 8 months, that I've been doing this. So I will definitely be doing one, video a month that at least does um, excuse me, the anniversary kind of thing. So, next month would be 9, and then I just continue. I'm going to try to do, uh, I'm going to try to do one every week, or at least thereabouts. Um, the only thing is I I feel like I'm running out of things to talk about. Because for me, what ends up happening a lot of times is when I get into a habit, when I get into something that, like with carnivore, um, things become very, very structured for me as far as like what I'm eating, the amount that I'm eating. So like some people have said, you ought to make some videos about the food preparation, some of the things that you do. Well, because my budget is very limited, um, I tend to just do like ground beef and a roast, and that's usually it for me. I just happened to luck out because I found that I actually still had a ham from around just before Christmas that I had thrown in the freezer. So I pulled that out, and that's thawing out. So I get to have some of that over the next few days. That's going to be cool. Progress videos would be good. Yeah, I think that's just what I need to do is just get back to just once a week, just regardless of what's going on, I just need to sit down in front of the camera and just give a quick update on how things are going. I need to get back to what I was doing before. It's just really what it is. And I will be honest. Um, when I don't remember when it was, but it was not too long ago that I had enough subscriptions and watched hours that uh, it allowed for me to be able to monetize the channel. And I was just honestly kind of hoping that I would be able to, make a few dollars. I'm not saying it, to make a lot, but unfortunately, there is a threshold that I have to approach, and as far as like the amount of money I have to hit a minimum of $100 that I've earned in order to be able to get any kind of money. So I think what ended up happening was that was just kind of a part of sort of the um, I don't know, kind of like not really enjoying. There was a period of a few weeks where I was just kind of not necessarily dreading, but I just didn't. I don't know. I just didn't like the idea of wanting to have to get on here again and make another video. But um, but somebody told me, actually, I think it was just yesterday, that when I started this channel, this was a way for me to make myself accountable to me. Because even if there never would have been anybody that watched my videos or subscribed or even jumped on, during a live stream as I'm sort of incoherently babbling away, that this was a way for me to track how I'm doing and just to remind myself of where I started out, because I actually watched my video from not too long ago about what life was like before, and it's funny because I mean I obviously I remember I remember sitting down, I remember doing the video, but when I listened to it again and watched it again, it really hit home with me and reminded me that um, all the things that I've gone through over the years, it's going to take time to get over it. It's going to take time to fix. Let's see, once a week would be great when you understand you have a life. Yeah. Then we just saying thank you very much. Oh, thank you. It teaches. It really does. Um, I don't know what I did with it, but I have. Oh, don't come here. Come here. There we go. Um, I actually. Will you stop that? Seriously. Come back. Come back. There we go. I was wearing a t-shirt earlier, the biggest one that I have, and it just um I mean, it used to the biggest ones that I have are 6X, and the biggest ones that I have that used to just come like just to the bottom of my belly, which there's a lot of belly there, but now it actually hangs well down starting to hang down my legs. So it's definitely one of those things that is, it's really helping. And as time goes on, and this is something I'm going to continue to do, is eventually, like in the, where are we, over here, in the, over there, yeah, not where the picture is, but um I plan on putting up one or two of those t-shirts as I'm getting into smaller ones. So right now, this one just happens to be 6, but I do have some that are 4 that actually still fit really well. The picture that I used for the thumbnail for this, excuse me, is a 4. So that one definitely fits a lot better. Yeah, skin color and texture, yeah. Well, it's also this really big light that I've got in front of me. But yeah, no, I mean, I definitely, I do feel better. I do believe that I look better, and I'm actually letting my hair grow out. So, although it's kind of funky in the back, but I've decided that I'm going to let it grow out some rather than continuing to buzz it. I mean, honestly, buzzing it, it's just, makes it really cheap. But the thing is that, the place that I go to get my haircut, regardless of, if they're just going to take scissors and trim it, or if they're just going to buzz it, I'm still having to pay the same amount. So who cares? Thank you, Brad. Thank you very much. Um, yeah, I tell you, it's been, it is definitely, an amazing, it's an amazing trip. It's amazing how I feel. That's the first 20 minutes. How's the new job? I'll get to that in just a minute. Um, it's amazing how, all the things that I've been feeling, and even though, um, life is up and down, it it's still going, still here, and regardless of, the amount of stress or the things that are going on, it's still going to be, that's always going to be one of those things that's with you. But I'm learning how to deal with that, and I'm allowing myself to congratulate myself on how I'm doing and how I'm looking and how I'm feeling, which, has been awesome. So yeah, so the job has been good. It started right at the beginning of what, October, and so it's, the great thing is I'm working from home. I have another table right here that has my work computer on it, so I just sit down and face that and do the work during the day. It's been really good. Um, I honestly, I hate to say this, but I do wish that I was making the money that I did before. But you know what? I don't care, because I'm getting paid regularly. I'm getting benefits, and I'm not having to drive my truck around and put miles on it trying to deliver, pizza. And I've said this before. I will say it again. I do not have. I do not. I will never say anything bad about people who do, delivery, whether it's pizza or, like something from um, Walmart, or any of these food delivery things. I have the utmost respect for them. Um, but for me, with the vehicle that I have, it was just sucking up the gas, and it just wasn't doing me any good. So, because most of the money that I was getting paid uh, was really, honestly, was going into the tank. I was making, just enough. But um, yeah, things are good. I'm enjoying what I do. I'm happy that I'm back, at Microsoft. As a contractor, I'm hoping that as time goes on, that maybe I'll actually become a full-time employee. That would be great. But I'm just gonna, I'm gonna continue to better myself, and work on learning a lot more about, um, the ins and outs of the company, and try to. fit myself in the best way I can, and try to make try to make myself um, as I don't want to say as important as I can, but to the point where I don't want them to let me go. So I want to stay. So as I was saying, I'm gonna be doing one video a month for sure, and at least probably one video a week, or maybe even maybe every 10 days, just so that everybody knows that I'm here. And as I continue to do things, I'm gonna do my best to try to if it's something that's worth filming, I'll at least make a video about it, or if I get a chance, I'll take my phone and do some film some footage of different things that I'm doing. I'm actually going to um, a comic book convention next month. The only reason why I decided, okay, so um, years ago, I watched Smallville. I don't know if any of you folks ever watched that, and I really enjoyed watching that show. I did my best to watch it, uh, when once a week when the show actually came out. But a lot of times I would just catch it in reruns. Um, but not too long ago, and I think a couple years ago, the two guys, Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum, started doing a podcast called Talkville, where they talk about they actually watch each episode and talk about um, what they remember from it. They try to bring in guests where they some of the other actors or some of the people that were in the show with them, and then they just talk about it. And so they were talking about how they were doing a lot of comic book conventions. So I just decided one day just to go and look it up, just to see if they were going to be coming around. And sure enough, next month they're going to be coming to Charlotte. And so my brother and I and my sister-in-law, we're all going to head over there on a Saturday. And I don't know if I'm gonna try to squeeze myself in so I can at least go and sit in on their panel. But I don't know. I just thought I thought that would be cool. I was kind of hoping to be able to pay to get a chance to go and shake their hands, but that didn't pan out. But at least I'm gonna be able to go. So we're just gonna make an afternoon of it. We'll head out to Charlotte probably around 10 or 11 or something like that, and just go and have fun. I think that they're. Oh, and then some of the other people are going to be so Kiefer Sutherland and Jason Patrick, the two that were in Lost Boys, are supposed to be there on Sunday, I believe. So unfortunately, we were only able to buy tickets for one day. But I don't know. I just thought that was cool. I thought that was I honestly never looked into any of that, and so I've actually been. I found a place where I could buy the episodes of Smallville for, and I promise, I'm not making any money off of this stuff. I tell you, but I was able to get these for like $6 on eBay. I found somebody that sells them for like they're like $6 each, and when you buy two, you get one free. Get out and yeah, and have a nice carnivore meal. No kidding, yeah. I mean, definitely in Charlotte, I know there's got to be some really nice some really nice restaurants out there. So yeah, we may just do something like that too. Definitely make an afternoon, because the stuff that they sell there is going to be but with these DVDs, it's buy two get one free, and it's usually free shipping. So for 13 $14, I'm able to get 3 seasons And so it's kind of great. I go through. I just been going through them, and I've gone through. I'm actually gone through season 7 now, so I just gotta eventually here get the last three, and then just be able to finish watching those. So I don't know. It's been fun. The other thing that I'm trying to do, um, where did it go? It wandered off somewhere. Um, I had another. Wait a minute. Hang on. Where did I put you? Do. Anyway, I had another video series that I had that I picked up. I was able to get one of them. Is the Lord of the Rings series, the extended? Because for several years after it came out, I was able to I bought the series, and what I used to do was once a year I would watch them. Okay, this is gonna sound really strange, but I promise I'm not that. But I would watch the movies all the way through, and then I would watch all the commentary. So when you would buy these sets, they were four discs, and um, so the first two would be the movies, and the other two would be all the commentary, all the behind the scenes stuff. So I would spend days. I mean, this would be like after work and stuff, but I would just do this once a year. And so I actually got one. I got the Return of the King not too long ago, and I figured I'm going to try and get the other two. And maybe like around November, December, because that was the time that they came out, and just kind of just start going through it again. And see, what I would do is I would watch the movies, and I would watch the commentary, or I would watch all the behind the scenes stuff. Then I would then I would go back and turn on the movie with like the actors commentary or the director's commentary. So then I could let myself, just go and do something else. But like I'm listening to everything that they're talking about, and so I don't know. I just always find that stuff fascinating. For some reason, I always when DVDs were coming out and they started releasing stuff like that. I actually was getting a lot of times I just had to rent them, but I would get movies and stuff, and it's just so I could watch that kind of stuff. I don't know. It just always it just always intrigued me listening to what all these folks were talking about and discussing. When it came time. Sorry, I'm still looking for the. Oh, I think I found it. Oh yeah, here we are. Yeah, see. So like I said, this is the Return of the King. So when you pull this out, it's got um, it's got the four. No, go this way. There we go. So there's four discs. So there's a lot of stuff to watch. Yeah, it's because and the only reason why this came up, honestly, is because there was a few videos that came out on YouTube from people that I watched not too long ago, um, where they were talking about how Return of the King in December was 20 years old. So, and to me, honestly, it doesn't seem like that much time has gone by because I've still watched these over the years, and it just doesn't seem like 20 years gone by. But anyway, uh, big tangent there, but so definitely, things I'm doing, things that things are going. Life is good, and what I was. Oh, and also gonna tell you folks that my brother is actually still doing carnivore. He's still going with it. And honestly, unfortunately, um, I don't know like how much he's lost, but I know he's been doing this now for almost 2 months now. So when I had talked to him at 30 days, he had lost just over 20 pounds. So I got a feeling he's probably doing. I'm sure he's doing good too. And he's definitely got a lot of stress, a lot of things are going on. Um, but the fact that I mean, and I've talked about stress in my life, but his is definitely a lot more than mine. But he's definitely holding on to it. And so because he's seeing the benefits of it. He's seeing that it his life is he's feeling better about things. Interview him. Yeah, I'm actually thinking about doing that. And I don't know. We may actually do a. I may actually like bring a camera and him and I sit down in the same room and actually do an interview. That might be interesting. One of these days, I need to get get away from this kind of microphone and actually get like physical microphones set up. Um, and or you know what? He's also actually doing a podcast about mental health. So him and his wife. So maybe maybe we could do like a dual thing where we record it and we'll just upload it at the same time. So yeah, that would be cool. I think that would be fun to try to do because for those of you who maybe are just coming on or just been on for a little bit, um, one of the things that I've that I was talking about was I really enjoy doing this. It's just I don't have I don't feel like I have a lot to discuss. I would love to be able to um I would love to be able to continue doing interviews with people. I would love to maybe I don't know, try to start branching off, maybe doing something else, not and or doing something along with this, I should say. I'm not planning on dropping this or going away from it. But um I would love to be able to start I don't know, start doing something, maybe in concert with this. Um I don't know what yet, but I'm still trying to figure that out. And I don't know. I think it'd be interesting. Um, I don't know. Like man on the street interview. Like walk up. What do you think about carnivore? You know, I don't know. Maybe that would be. Although I don't know. It would be weird if if I just walked up to someone and say, "Hey, what do you think about this?" It's just shoving a camera in people's face. You should let Dave Mack. See, honestly, okay, this is gonna sound weird, but I would I'd love to be interviewed by someone, but I mean, I don't know. It's like, how do you approach that? I mean, do you just reach out to them and say, "Hey, interview me, man"? you know, I don't know. Dave Mack. I could definitely. Is he does he do carnivore as well? I'm not sure that I've heard that name before. But that I don't know. I think that would I think that would be fun. I mean, because obviously I love to sit here and babble away. I know sometimes you if you've followed me long enough, you know that sometimes when I pause, my brain's trying to put words together because it things have just over the years with with the lack of sleep and I think with some of the things that probably have gone on in my brain. Sometimes little synapses don't connect. He keeps asking for more people, uh, and he gives out his okay. All right, I'll definitely look him up. Dave Maddox. So let me see. Let me just make a note here. Cause yeah, cause honestly, I'd love to just keep doing this. I really enjoy it, and you know, do whatever I can. Homestead. See, okay, all right. So this is gonna sound weird, but um, it's like if you look at the people who do carnivore, okay, there is there's Homestead Howe, okay. He seems like, I mean, you've got the doctors and you've got Homestead Howe, and then you've got me way down here, you know. So it's, I don't know. It's, I mean, it would definitely be, a humbling thing to, to reach out to them and say, hey, would you be interested in doing, in interviewing me? He's carnivore and lives in Japan. Oh, okay. Okay. I will definitely look. Oh, an Australian in Japan. That's cool. That's cool. I like that. But because I mean, the couple minutes that I did have to when I talked with, with Kerry on that video that he did, that was so much fun. And that was, honestly, that was the thing that really got me a lot of viewers and a lot of people subscribing, and that was awesome. Um, and but it's like, I don't know. I guess it's just, I don't know. It's just one of those things where, is it, I don't know. Is it appropriate to just reach out to them and ask? I don't know how that works. So, but it's definitely something I've thought of and I've thought about. But I would, yeah, I would. I'd love to do something like that. I think that'd be fun. Um, Especially like talking to somebody in Japan. So like, they're what, 12-hour difference. So like, if we were to pre-record something, it would be, it's like almost 8 o'clock or around there for him. So I mean, it could definitely be done. But I don't know. That would be interesting if I could figure that out. But yeah, folks, if you stop it, I don't know why it's doing that. It's probably because it's dark. I don't know if you can tell, but the light above me, normally have two lights. One of them's out, so it's like this whole section of the room here is blacked out just because there's no light hitting it. So the camera's like trying to figure out, what are you doing, man? Um, but yeah, I help me get the word out, folks. Help me to get to other people. I would love to continue, and just trying to grow this, trying to do this, because it really, this is probably one of the most important things in my life that I've ever done and want to continue to do. And I want to be able to tell people, as many people as I can, um, about the benefits. Because honestly, I really don't. There's so many pros. I really don't know that there are any cons. Now, I say that, um, there are, changes that will happen, with your metabolism. There are changes that'll happen in your body, but those are short lived. Those will happen for a little bit, and then hopefully they will go away. Now, if you're somebody like me who, doesn't have a gallbladder, you may have a little more, issue with fat as you're eating it. But I mean, it's definitely a lot more manageable than, the way things used to be. But um, so boy, I've been doing this for 48 minutes now. So how are you folks doing? How is everybody doing? Um, I've been trying to, sort of keep up with the carnivore community as a whole, and there's just so many channels and so many videos that are out there. Um, Trying to, keep up with everybody sometimes is kind of a daunting task. But sorry, folks, give me just a moment. Um, Keeping up, still losing weight. So awesome, awesome. So Brad, how are things going for you? Where are you at this point? Are things good? I'm going to take a break and have some more water. And I'm actually, excuse me, I'm actually still drinking, like 3 or 4 of these a day throughout the day. I try to keep them as cold as I can because for some reason, very, very cold water, I just tend to enjoy a lot more than sort of room temp, but it's all right. 150, okay, so down from, oh, that's awesome. So, um, month 5, right on, man. Right on. That's great. How are you feeling? I mean, um, it let's put it this way. Um, was this decision the right decision for you? That's always the one question that I love asking when I interview people because that's when they really get a chance um just just sort of look back at everything that's happened for them, things when they first started out, things the way before, and being able to look forward and no issues. Absolutely great. That's awesome, man. I tell you, um meat eater kid. Yeah, it you know when you listen to a lot of the people who talk about carnivore, they always talk about doing sort of a 2 week transition, um you know to get yourself going to that point where um you're getting away from the garbage, but and then you're increasing your protein. Even if you just do like I did, where you just go whole hog and just go for it right from day one. um there are the ups and downs for the first few weeks, 2 3 weeks, whatever, but honestly, once that's over, it just so much better, so much lighter on my feet. You can do absolutely, absolutely. 295 down to 262 7. Oh, that's great. That is awesome. You're just almost right behind me as far as um the amount of time. That's awesome. That is great because it and it's one of those things that every once in a while, I try to find something that is my weight, or even either the amount of weight that I lost or even half the weight that I lost, and I try to pick it up and I try to carry it around. Folks, it's amazing. It is amazing how you try to pick this thing up and you're like, I cannot believe that I carried that around for so long. It is insane. It is insane. And it just really, it honestly puts things in perspective. Had a great guy on today, Alan B, 66 years old. That okay. All right, I'm definitely gonna go and look this. I'll definitely go look this guy up. So yeah, it's funny how I tend to when I start asking people who they listen to, who they watch, a lot of times I get some really good responses. So I'll definitely look that one up. But yeah, and again, folks, if when I ask people um how carnivore is doing for them, what it's doing for them, you know, and if I ask you and you're not in here because of weight, but because of other ailments, please feel free to throw that out too. I again, I know that I really tend to focus on the weight, but there's so many other ailments that are out there. We want to hear how you are doing, even if, you know, even if maybe you only lost, a couple of pounds just because maybe you needed to, but the other ailments, the other things in your life are gone or manageable. So, um, you know, keep that, honestly, keep that in mind, folks. Um, yeah, because it wasn't until, I did that one interview with Lauren, from Farmer's Wife. Oh, she changed her channel name. Anyway, it was Farmer's Wife, Carnivore Life, uh, before, but when she started talking about, that, because one of the first things that she said to me was, I never had weight issues, but I had this and this and this and this and this and this and the things that she listed out. Um, that was definitely an aha moment for me. Um, Realizing that, you know that this really does fix a lot of things, or at least brings things that are in your life that are maybe out of whack, brings it back into alignment. And um, it really is important to do. And if you don't happen to be watching this right now with us, if maybe you're watching this later on, um, and you're wondering, you're thinking about it, really do doing it from the health perspective, not just weight loss. Exactly, exactly. If you've got ailments that are in your life, um, things that are going on that, maybe it's intestinal issues, or arthritis, or joint pain, or um, I mean, there's a huge fog in your brain. You can't think when you're trying to talk about things. There's so many things that are out there that people are getting healed from. And um you just gotta look into it. And again, I'm gonna throw out the challenge: 30 days. I mean, really, that's just 1 month. 1 month of your time where all you're doing is just eating meat and eggs, and doing dairy, and eliminating everything else, getting rid of all the carbs, getting rid of all the processed stuff. Just do it for 1 month. That's it. All you have to do. And write it all down. Write it all down. Well, Brad, I tell you, man, if you continue, I obviously I can't guarantee this, but I mean, if you continue to have awesome results, and you're finding that there are the problems that are in your life are going away because of this thing, because of carnivore, then hopefully, that will light a fire under your wife to say, you know what, maybe. Because all you need is just that. You just need that little bit, and then you can just blow that door wide open. I tell you. Let's see. I was failing mentally and physically, but I wasn't overweight. Uh, this is an outside shot on the inside. Mentally, I was shot. Carnivore change. Yeah. No. No. Absolutely. Exactly. It really folks. It is amazing. It really is. You just gotta you just gotta go for it. You just gotta give it a try, and that's all you can do. You know. I mean, again, um, I'm 51 years old, and it's taken me all this time to learn all these bad habits. So doing this, yeah, I'm stumbling. I'm having some. Yeah, definitely been having some good times, and sometimes some of the things are not so good. But it is going to take, it's going to take a while to get to the point where you're gonna figure it out. And like I've always said, if you stumble, so what? Brush yourself off, turn around, get back on the wagon. Like I've always said, that wagon hasn't moved. It's just sitting right there. It's just waiting for you. Jump back on and keep going. I'm on day 128. Started to maintain muscle up to 40 years of weight training. Right on. Age was causing muscle loss. Yeah. It's older it's gained too now. That's great. That is awesome. That is awesome. I'm telling you folks that this thing will do some amazing things for you. Brad, I'm hoping for, yeah, I mean, honestly, it just, it may take time. It really will um because a lot of times, and I'm not saying this about your wife in particular, Brad, but um sometimes I see this in some people that I talk to, and I hate the fact that it happens, but I think sometimes shame kicks in. I think, and again, this is just my opinion, is that sometimes I think people who are really, and again, this, I'm also coming from people who are overweight. So that's the only direction that I'm coming from. There's a lot of times people will feel shame because of how big they are, and when somebody that they don't know, or especially with me just going up and talking to people, um they sort of feel guilty because they know that they've gotten to the point where they're really big, and life is just it. And then somebody comes along and talks to them about losing weight. But for me, what I do and what I try to do is I try to bring it in from a place of respect for that person, even though I may not know them, and from a place of love because, um, you know, I know what they are going through. And again, even if even if you're coming at this from somebody who's not overweight, um, it may feel silly because the idea of, wait a minute, you're saying that I can fix my digestive issues by just changing my diet. Well, that's what my doctor told me. He told me to change it and then take these pills, and it's supposed to work, and it's not working, and I don't understand it. Yes, changing it, absolutely. Changing it, that is the correct thing to do, but you got to change it with the right stuff. You got to change it with the right food. You know, um, other people have said this, and I've said this. We are the only, humans are the only species that eats the food that was not meant for them to eat. If you look at studies of other animals, when they go and eat food that is outside of what they are supposed to eat, what happens? They get sick and die. So why can't that be the same with us? It is. I'm telling you. It takes time, definitely, because it is a lifestyle. Yep. Yeah. Eat to live. Exactly. Yeah. Don't live to eat, because you're never going to be satisfied. You won't, because you'll eat some food, and then, like, a couple of, what's going to happen. A couple hours later, I'm hungry again. A couple hours later, oh, I'm hungry again. And then you're just, you know you're doing something out of repetition. You're not doing it to live. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome. I mean, because it's very true. Again, for those of you who are just coming on, I got a chance to talk to a friend of mine that I haven't spoken to in several years, and I haven't seen in even longer. And we were talking about the fact that that he's doing carnivore too, and you know, again, he was never overweight. Not by any stretch of the imagination. But he has lost a little bit of weight. Um, he's lost about, I think he said about 40 pounds, but it's the energy that he has. It's the drive to get him up and to get him doing things for his family, going and working. And that is that is where the drive needs to come from. You want to change you. You need to make sure, and this is something that I've said before, is when it comes time for you to think about making the decision for carnivore, you need to make sure that you are one of the reasons that you're going to do this. You can certainly do it for your family. You can certainly do it for your friends. You can do it for your job, for your animal, for whatever. And those are absolutely good reasons. But if you are not on that list, then you're going to have a hard time. Mental hurdles were, yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. Because for me, uh I am learning to be the biggest proponent for myself, but at the same time, I am also the first person to kick myself when I screw up. I've done it for years. You know, and I mean, obviously, I'm a very emotional man, but that's just who I am. That's just. And the problem is for me, a lot of times those, um, the emotions tend to kick in a lot more and a lot faster for me, just because that is just what I've done all of my life. And so, learning to see not only as it happens, but I also am learning to be able to look down the road. The idea of, I'm just going to use this as an example just for a second. No, I'm not going to eat the pencil, but the idea that, before, again, we'll just say this is, tasty treat number one. I would just go to the store and eat tasty treat number one and wouldn't care. But now, if I go to a store and I pick this up and I look at it, and if I really think about it for a second, it's like, okay, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to eat tasty treat number one, and then it's going to go to number two and number three, and then it's going to lead to something else. And, so you start to look forward at what could happen. And I don't know, to me, I really love the fact that I've been able to do that in my life, because it is helping me to avoid a lot of possible issues that could come later on. And I think as you do that, you will really benefit from that, and it's going to help you feel so much better, so that when you're in the store and you see tasty treat number one, but it's way off in the distance, all you have to do is look at it and go, no, mm-mm, no, because I already know what's going to happen. So, and yes, I do not eat pencil. Okay. Wow. Hour 10. See, I tend a lot of times to just open my mouth and hope for the best when things come out. Oh, I tell you, for me, sugar is the worst enemy. Yeah, not the starches in the car. Yeah, yeah, because you know, alcohol has a warning label. Cigarettes have a warning label. A lot of medicines have a warning label. Well, sugar should too. I mean, could you imagine? Could you imagine just for a minute if you were to go into a grocery store one day, and you know, for us, for carnivores, we tend to stick to the very outside of the store, because you know That's where all the refrigerated stuff is: the meat, cheese, the eggs, fish. You know what would be interesting is if you start walking down the middle of the store and all of a sudden you see signs. The Food and Drug Administration has said that sugar is can be addictive and does this and this and this to you. Could you imagine seeing that? I mean, come on. You go to any store, any like I've seen it around here at least. You go to a grocery store, you go to a gas station store, anything. 7-Eleven. There's a big, huge sign at the front of the store saying that cigarettes are addictive and can do this and this and that. So why can't sugar have it? Took 5 or 6 months for sugar carb. Yep, it does. It really does. Because again, it's just one of those things where you walk by and I could just have one. It'll be fine. No, that's why people who are addicts of drugs or alcohol or for us sugar. And they will sit there and say, I can have one. It'll be all right. No, it won't. Because one will lead to two, two will lead to 10, and then 10 will lead to, bah. telling you, telling you folks. That's what we need to do. That is what we need. We need to get to the point where um, carnivore is the majority, and then we can make change. Yeah, we'll move into the Food and Drug Administration, and then we can change the laws and say, sugar's going to screw you up, so we're going to go and put signs all over the store. We're going to have it on every single candy bar and cereal and everything. We're going to just flood the store with these signs about sugar. And then life will be beautiful. All right. I about freaked out when I started to drink flavored. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's crazy. It really is. Just the fact that you've got I mean, especially with me and soda. I mean, you've got all these additives, all this garbage, all this stuff that's shoved in there, and it you know it's because it tastes. I mean, let's be honest. It tastes really good. It does. But you look at it, it's like, what am I doing? I actually turn it around, and it's like, wait a minute. There's there's calories. There's things other than you know meat and salt. Yeah, it's crazy. It really is, folks. And you know, it's it's definitely it's definitely something we have to learn to deal with. It's something we have to learn to work with, and it's just gonna take time. That's it. It's just gonna take time. Ah, water. Ah, all right. Well, folks, I'm gonna look at wrapping this up. If there's anything else that you want to throw out real quick, go for it. Um, Otherwise, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been on, who's been watching. Um, I especially if you've been around since the beginning, thank you. I really do appreciate having you folks come on and hang out for a few minutes and say hello. Um, it like I said, this was always just a way for me to keep me accountable. And if I can help somebody else, who's doing the same journey, I am I am all for it, and I really do enjoy it. So, um, yeah, so I'll definitely be doing one big video a month. I may even do a live stream with some lower thirds, like I've done in the past. And I'm going to work on, trying to do a video, hopefully once a week or maybe, every 10 days at most. Um, just so everybody knows I'm still here. Um, and yeah, that I'm still kicking. And, I will put things on the community channel as well. So thank you, everybody. Have a great night. If you are watching this afterwards, thank you for watching all the way through. Take care, everybody, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video or in the next live stream. Have a good night, everybody.